Hey Aquarius, and welcome to your November 2018 General Tarot Forecast. This is Sky here to give you guys hopefully another amazing reading for your month ahead. Really a lot of opportunity for you here in November. I see like straight going into your energy that you are feeling a bit of a lack in vitality or a bit of a lack in luck and abundance, and perhaps you've been facing a bit of a traumatic cycle as you, like many of the other signs this month, have quite polarized energies. You know, some really positive archetypes and some seemingly more negative archetypes as well, and you know, quite directly so. It's not just sort of negative or sort of positive, it's like really positive and perhaps like really negative as well. And that has sort of been the tender spot of November for all the signs this month, is each and every single reading has been quite polarized, and I've had to really go through and, you know, cover the really great points and the really difficult points. And I'm really hoping that by the time we get to December and especially by the new year, that we can kind of have some more gray zone readings where we're just kind of going through some more simple ideals. But, you know, for you this month, Aquarius, you see that your energy is placed somewhere that you didn't realize, perhaps. We do have Jupiter changing sign into Sagittarius, which is ultimately going to be really, I think, wonderful for you. Jupiter's been in Scorpio, which has been squaring your sun or whatever you have in Aquarius, which is not a bad transit per se, but it really expanded some things in your life that you didn't expect. You know, aspects of your life which you were trying to improve on may have taken the back seat as some unexpected things became the focal point of your experience. And now as Jupiter moves into Sagittarius in November, you get the opportunity once more to easily strive towards one linear goal. As I feel that was the difficult thing for you over the last year, was not perhaps having the ability to strive towards one linear goal, but sort of having to contribute to many different aspects of your life in a kind of chaotic and deep, you know, scorpionic type of way. So I feel like Aquarius over 2018, you know, had to look at the relationships which were toxic, or had to look at the volatile familial relationships, and sort of had to make a decision. I'm hoping that those decisions have been made by now, and all you're sort of having to do is adjust to that, adjust to your new way of living. But it does feel for some of you in November, you still have to make that decision, you know, to establish a boundary or to go your own way in some sense, because I do see you having motion in the month of November. Five of Pentacles, Eight of Cups, the World. Again, there's a volatility there because there's a desire for stillness with the Star, the High Priestess, and Five of Cups, but at the same time, an undeniable necessity of movement and motion. So you're going to perhaps feel a little bit stuck between like, okay, do I go this direction? Do I halt? Do I stay here for a while? As some of you might be thinking it's a time to move, but at the same time, you're like, I could benefit more through staying here. Don't freak yourself out too much with it. Don't worry too much, because after the second week of November, things will start to follow an easier trail. Like things will follow an easier path and come together much more easy. These last few degrees of Scorpio, Jupiter being there for everyone, regardless of whether it's really hitting you hard or not, it does give an intensity to certain things in your life which are a bit unexpected. It's very powerful. Like that's a really powerful few degrees of the zodiac there, but it's also a like yearning and like self-deprecating and what do I want to say? Sort of a self-combative portion of the zodiac as well, because there's a potential as Scorpio transitions into Sagittarius. There's like this potential to really like go big and to really like kind of explode like a firework, but there's also this need to like really go down within and see like the inner depths. So it's such a kind of vertigo inducing, almost agoraphobic energy at times. And Jupiter is there and expanding that. So don't worry, Aquarius, if you're feeling a bit anxious moving into November, or if you're feeling a bit on edge. All of the fixed signs, I do believe, are feeling that way, especially if you're like an Aquarius Pisces cusp person, and that's like really squaring you specifically. A little bit of anxiety here is not actually a bad thing. It just causes you to open the doors that you need. So remember that. If you're feeling anxiety here, or if you're feeling some lack of potency, or something is like not there, like maybe even a health problem or an endocrine problem, something where like the chemical levels are not feeling balanced, it's okay. It will pass. It will click back into place. But it's important to see with this state of being that you have here and now, what changes need to be made. The Star reversed is your central theme this month, so it says to me that something relating to self-care and vitality of self has gone unfulfilled, or maybe you've not been eating well enough, or not been nourishing your body enough, not been well enough hydrated. Also, like perhaps not sleeping well enough. Something is making your body a little bit on edge. And Aquarius is one of the signs who can perhaps like detach from that type of thing better than any other sign. Like you can have like a really difficult health problem, or you can be having like a strong anxiety or depression and like still function. Like you're a very high functioning energy regardless of what you go through, because the way that your brain and connective systems work is you kind of attach onto separate things multiple times throughout a day. So that can also be a reason why linear goals or linear objectives are hard, because you are attaching to different things, 10 or 15 times throughout a day. So, you want one thing and then you're attached to something else, and you've like not connected the two things together. So yeah, if you're having anxiety or a health problem, you can like get up and attach yourself to something else and completely forget about that. But that kind of just depletes you even more, because you're sort of forcing your body to do something that's not natural. So definitely settling in to a natural sense of being this month for Aquarius is vital. I feel very much so vital. And yes, Aquarius, I do feel also as another like positive and mundane message that this is a month where you are encouraged to not rely too much on other people, and through that you get a lot. So Three of Pentacles is reversed. That keeps pulling my attention. It's like you've been expecting people to help you with something, or you've been expecting people to come to your aid. But if they're not doing that, or if there feels to be a disconnect there, it's for the best. I feel very validated in saying that you doing things yourself, or being able to accomplish things yourself, really puts you in a sense of positive abundance and windfall as well, with that being next to the Eight of Wands. But anyway, Aquarius, I'm going to go ahead and get into the week to week, and we will see what else is coming up for you. In the first week of November, you have the High Priestess rooted down by Five of Cups. So some kind of drastic, strong ending came in for you perhaps at the end of October, and you're having to cope from that. Something is being healed from in the first week. It could be an illness, or it could be an ending of some kind, a loss of some kind. You are kind of having a cycle of bereavement there, and it's going to be really important to sit with your grief and to not take that away from yourself. Aquarius is not a sign that has to grieve too much. It's not a sign that has to be too emotionally emotionally zealous, I want to say, but there will come like a period of time, like seldomly, that you really have to just become an emotional being. Like you really have to like bear that water, as a water bearer. And this feels to be one of those times, the first week of November. So definitely do not try to inhibit your feelings, or to suppress how you feel, or repress how you feel. I'm sorry, I believe that repression is the correct usage there. Try to not repress what you are going through. And basically just try to not deny yourself anything. You're wanting a certain type of meal, give yourself the meal. You're like thirsty, allow yourself to drink something, rather than saying, okay, no, I'm working right now, I'm thirsty, but I'm going to keep working. And then then you're not thirsty after you finish working, and you end up not like drinking either. There's a lot of that kind of thing with Aquarius this month, of needing something and like not getting it because you're busy, and then forgetting that you even needed it in the first place. And this is how your body kind of gets out of whack here if you're not careful. Definitely, give yourself the time in the first week to look at the spilled cups or what's going wrong. But remember that with that comes like upturned cups as well, like cups that are full. To have spilled cups means that there are also full cups, like equal and opposite reaction, And I definitely want you to turn to these new spiritual customs that have been implemented into your life. The High Priestess says that you are being supported, the universe is supporting you, and you are being held and nurtured through any type of grief or trauma that you are going through. So let that be known, and that this is ultimately contributing to your growth as a spiritual being, and also contributing to your safety overall through going through this difficult experience and difficult time. The second week of Aquarius sees you really thriving much more. Eight of Wands rooted down by Queen of Swords. I really like that for you. Some fire and air energy. I do feel like you're very magnetic during that time. You're really pulling a lot in. Such abundance has the opportunity to come in. So that feels like the energy of lottery, or the energy of just a really nice surprise one way or another that you didn't expect. And how beautiful, after you're going through what you've been through in October and like the first week of November, how beautiful to have something come in. I always suggest with Eight of Wands to make sure that you allow it in and that you accept it, because with so much windfall on the horizon, it can sometimes be easy to just like let it surpass you, or let it like fall past you, and you like don't grab it. Make sure that you're reaching halfway. I feel that the universe is reaching halfway, so make sure that you reach towards it in return so you don't miss something. Don't worry if you do miss things though either, as I'm hearing that Aquarius must not be grieving missed opportunities because they merely opened the door towards the better opportunities. So yes, you need to be reaching halfway here and now in the second week especially, but also don't beat yourself up if something doesn't go through, because that might not have actually been the windfall, if you know what I mean. Basically, because I know that's a bit of a conflicting message, just make sure that you're reaching halfway towards things which are coming through, but not beating yourself up if you don't like actually get it, because that means that there's just something coming behind it. With Queen of Swords, reading that down, you are in your element. Like, something in the second week gets you into your element. So look around your environment, look around and see what you're enjoying. How can you step into your like really strong feminine air capability? I love Queen of Swords for Aquarius. You are a very swords type of energy. It is a sign that it's good to nurture the feminine right now. It's good to nurture your receptive nature in whatever way, even if you're like a guy or consider yourself to be a masculine being. Now is a time to receive new thoughts and new diligence and new ideas towards better systems in your life, and you will be rewarded for thinking about that now. You'll be surprised at how easily you come up with like a solution to problems during the second week of November and throughout the rest of November, really, as you're moving into the third week with 3 of Pentacles rooted down by 5 of Pentacles reversed. You know, that's a harsher energy, and it is interesting, the transition between the second and third week, especially with like the star reversed being the central theme and encompassing all of those 4 cards. It's kind of a shocking transition there, and it doesn't have to be bad. You know, it's a bit gray, it's a bit dim the third week, and there is an overwhelming lack of like bright colors in this reading. Like, in general, you might be feeling like this is an existential crisis, or you might be feeling like things are just like not grabbing you right now. But the third week serves as the perfect opportunity to see the warmth and the possibility that can be available, because 5 of Pentacles is always a sign that you can have better than this. Like, if you're feeling really distraught or really abandoned or really despondent in some ways, I feel there's a bit of a despondent energy in the third week. There's something, if you just like look to your left, like right there, that can really, really satiate you very potently. As sometimes Aquarius gets so like focused on needing something, or really commits to an idea, that if that doesn't pan out, they seem to think that, you know, their entire life has been ruined or something. It's a bit dramatic, because people might just not be supporting you the way that you expected in the third week, and that is the source, I think, of your feeling of difficulty, is the lack of support or the lack of community even. You might have had plans during the third week, like that's around Thanksgiving. Some of you may have had like really great plans for your family and it falls through. Or even like being in the company of your family might not be what you expected it to be. But don't let me project that for you. Some of you will have really wonderful gatherings in that way, especially if you've got like some Capricorn in your chart. That will be really wonderful. Or even like Leo or Virgo, like they're having really good experiences relating to family this month, I feel. So that's not going to be right for all Aquarius. But if you are on that boat where like the family isn't really feeling very receptive during the holidays, it's going to be really important to maybe make a new community, or to maybe think about, you know, who can be a family to me. Even if you're completely in solitude during that period of time, there's a really strong sense of fulfillment that you truly can have through that, if you just let yourself, for sure. Week number 4, the World rooted down by 8 of Cups reversed. I like that. I actually like that energy a lot. A lot of people have been having the World this month and recently, so it's really an ending phase, and that probably is because Jupiter is changing sign, and because the energy starts to feel really different. So something has to come to an end and a new birth has to happen. You are tempted to leave something behind or to quit something. 8 of Cups has also been running rampant this month as well. So everybody's kind of tempted to leave something behind, or to start anew, or to have closure in some way. And I really think that you truly can have it, Aquarius. With the World and 8 of Cups together like that, it does say strong closure. So for some of you, the relationship that went south can be healed here, or can be managed, or can be finished properly. And how can you finish things properly? You know, if you see yourself needing to be single again, or if you see yourself needing to, you know, leave the family home or move abroad or something, how can you make this a nice closure? How can you make this good for everyone? Like, you know, running off in the night may not be the best idea. It could be nice to, you know, set a date, tell everyone about it, and really enjoy the time that you still have with them, even if it's not the most functional system. Like, you might be in a dysfunctional experience right now, but that doesn't mean that you need to add more pain onto it. Again, you get quite detached from that, so it's not that you're trying to hurt people. But you do have to think about, like, does this hurt people? You know, is this something that causes pain to the people that I love? And do I love them? You know, why am I referring to them as such if I want to cause them pain? It's kind of an odd food for thought, but just be careful about how you're walking away from things in the fourth week, because it's very final. Like, there's a final sense of walking away. If you're doing it in quite a secretive way or a dark way, if that makes sense to some of you. For others of you, it's going to be an invitation, I feel, to step onto like a more worldly path. So again, moving abroad or going on some type of journey, going on some type of spiritual retreat. Even for some of you, it could be. So do think about that and think about like what a spiritual retreat looks like for you. That doesn't mean you have to like go and spend a lot of money and go to like an island to like a quote unquote spiritual retreat. But you know, is a move or is a new hobby or a new job, could that be a spiritual retreat for you? And could that satiate this need to really throw everything away that all of you, I do feel, are having in some kind of way? So definitely look at that. And remember that the star reversed is your central theme. Really, really powerful. There's sort of like a Pandora's box energy there where you see the truth, you know, like you see the truth, and the truth can be kind of like a difficult pill to swallow, I feel, for some of you. Especially because you might not have given yourself enough self-care this month. It does feel like there's dehydration. It feels like the pH of the body is in a weird way. It feels like the endocrine system is taxed. It feels like the adrenals specifically are taxed. So rehydrate yourself, calm yourself, restful sleep, really at any cost, you know. Because I hear what some of you are saying, well, it's just not going to be possible to like get a lot of sleep this month. You know, it has to be possible. There has to be some type of concession made for that, because I see oftentimes when the star reversed is powerfully placed in a reading that it's sort of a warning sign. You know, it's okay. You'll be fine even if you have to force yourself to do things this month, but you really have to make a plan, because in a few months' time, this could be like a serious health problem if you keep pushing yourself in this way. So really allow yourself some rest, relaxation, reinvigoration, because that's when new passion comes in, and that's when new abilities and new blocks of time come in, and new possibilities come in when you're healthy and when you can take them. Okay, so keep that in mind, Aquarius. You have everything that you need to become more healthy this month. So just think what health means to you and what that looks like. It's not just like physical body; it's emotional well-being. It's looking at your job in a positive way. How can these things become more possible? You have the solution. Queen of Swords gives you the ability to solve the equation and to find a solution that brings a sense of health and joy into your life. Anyway, much love, Aquarius. I hope that this reading resonated. Be sure to check out your sun, moon, rising sign if you would like more clarity. Your subscribes, likes, and comments make my day. And check the description box below for more information. I will be talking to you guys soon. Much love. Bye.